Hello, happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. Can't believe it's Wednesday already, actually. That's a little bit mad. Right, let's try and put you into the hole there so that I can see all your fabulous comments. Fantastic. How are you all doing? How are you? What's been going on? Are you having a good Wednesday? Are you having a happy hump day? Hopefully you are. Right, let's get this computer going so I can see all your comments. There we go. Fabulous. Barry's decided to join us with his presents again. They're all right old stretched out in bizarre configurations there. Back to front. So obviously decided to join Stitch today. Have you all got your cardboard? Have you all got your cereal box or some kind of food packaging, that kind of thickness of cardboard? Hopefully you have. Saying hello to Barry. It is Policeman Stitch, yes. Like I said, we've been in the fancy dress boxes this week. So yeah, it's Policeman Stitch today. Hi Jane, hi Rosie, hi Dad. Stitch to the rescue, indeed, indeed. Hi Katie and the boys. Hello, hello. Sophie and Chris, hello. Had a slip and slide in the garden. Excellent, that sounds like a good Wednesday plan. A slip and slide. Cheryl, my squares are a bit wonky. Don't worry, that's fine. That's not a problem. How you doing? How you doing? So, hopefully you all have your cereal box. So what I have done is kind of half opened it out so that I've got the 2 squares marked out. So 2 squares of 10. Don't worry if you've already cut it out, that's fine. I'm going to cut mine out now. So these are both 2 squares of 10 centimetres by 10 centimetres. Okay. So let me cut these out, and this is going to make, I think the cat is under arrest. Yeah, I think the cat probably is under arrest actually. Hi Severin, hello, 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 hello Tabitha and Jocelyn. Excellent. So what we're going to make is an infinity card today, so that's why you need the 2 squares. So here's one I made earlier. I'm going to try and attempt to turn this round so you can get 4 different pictures, 4 different things to play with, and then they keep going. And that is why it's called an infinity card, because it just keeps going and going and going. So you've got 4 different surfaces to play with these, and they're beautiful to make, especially if you're like creating like a birthday card or something like that. Actually, they're really, really lovely to create. So hopefully you've got your 2 squares of 10 centimetres by 10 centimetres. So I'm very, very quickly gonna cut mine out. And then what we're gonna do is measure all the way around each square. Now I'm gonna be a little bit, which doesn't happen very often, but a little bit clever in the fact that I'm actually gonna leave my squares kind of together just so that I can get the measurements done quicker. Don't worry if you've already cut them out separately, that's not a problem. So, let's chop these bit off. This is what we're making, so this is what we're making, I think Charlotte said, we're making those, this is what we're making. It's much easier than yesterday's challenge. Well done to those of you who finished the stars, gorgeous, gorgeous efforts. Okay, let's get rid of this lot. So I have my 2 squares. What we're going to do is measure 2.5, it's really important for this measurement for this one, 2.5 centimetres in from all directions. So I'm going to lower the camera down a little bit so that you guys can see what I'm doing today. Hopefully you guys can see that. Where's my ruler? There it is. Hi Lynn, helping. So they don't need to be connected. I've just seen Peter's comment. They don't need to be connected. You can cut them separately as long as you've measured 2.5 centimetres in from all sides of each square, then that's absolutely fine. But I've just kept them connected just because it's easier for me to measure from here. So I'm going to show you another example. 1, 2.5. 1, 2.5. 2.5. Now, Cheryl, I think it was Cheryl, said that her squares were slightly wonky. So one of the ways to get them not as wonky as you might do is to mark out. So I've measured 2.5 in from each line, if you can see my marks there. So 2.5 in is to actually measure again 2.5 in, 2.5 in. Slightly further along, and then join those two up. It just helps you not get such wonky lines as you might do. So 1, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 1, 2.5. Okay, so hopefully, yeah, Jane, it was 10 by 10. 10 centimetres by 10 centimetres is what we start with, and then we're measuring 2.5 centimetres in from all directions. So I've done 2 sides out of 4 on each of my squares. Okay, and I'm just going to do the other ones as well. Okay, so again, if you mark out 2.5 centimetres, 2.5 centimetres, and then further down, and as I've got my 2 connected, I'm going to do it all the way down and join those 2 dots up. It just helps you get a much straighter line and hopefully not as wonky. Okay, so hopefully everyone's there. Hopefully everyone's okay with their 2 squares. I am gonna actually separate these 2 now. So don't worry. If you've already done that, that's fine. If you haven't, don't worry. Okay, so hopefully everyone's there. Hopefully everyone's got 2.5 centimetres marked out on every side. So it's 10 centimetres by 10 centimetres, and then 2.5 centimetres in, draw a line, 2.5 centimetres in, draw a line, and do that on each side. Hopefully that explains it, Peter. Hopefully you've got that. Okay, 2.5 centimetres in. That's what you need for this next bit. All right, so what I'm going to do is use scissors. This is where you might want to be careful of little fingers, but I'm going to use scissors to score along those lines. So I'm going to hold my scissors like this with my finger this side so that it doesn't get trapped in this bit here, and I'm going to score along those lines. Slow you down a bit so you can see a bit better. Okay, so not all the way through, just along those lines. You can see my scoring isn't particularly straight. That's okay, don't worry. If you want to get it really, really, really straight, then use a ruler. And you're just literally just pressing very, very lightly into the cardboard on all 4 of those lines. Okay, and I'm going to do that with the other one as well. So I'm going to bring that over, and I'm just going to very, very lightly go over with the scissors all 4 of those lines. Try not to cut all the way through. I don't know how sharp your scissors are compared to mine. I'm just literally scoring so that it's going to be easier to bend these bits in a minute. Okay, so hopefully you've all scored. Have you all managed to score those lines? Yeah, so it should make it easier to bend those bits. Now what I want you to do is bend those bits both ways. Just bend it one way, give it a good kind of pat down, and then bend it the other way. Just lightly pat. You don't have to really score it like we did with the paper flowers when we made those. You don't have to really score it. Just very, very lightly. Okay, so score and just pat down every side one way and then the other. Okay. Cheryl's saying one mo. Am I going too fast? Am I going too fast for everyone? Don't worry, don't panic. It's fine, we've got plenty of time, plenty of time. So that's all 4 of my sides that I've scored and then bent both ways. Okay, so it should make it kind of a little bit floppy on both those sides. I'll do that with the other one as well. While you're all catching up with doing that, hi Mum, just waved away. Hello. While you're all doing that, next week I have 2 options of what to do, and I'm not really sure which one to do. So I thought I'd ask all of you guys. So would you prefer to do more of the kind of therapeutic art or creative therapy, bit like the drawing to music that we did in the drawing week? Would you prefer to do that, or illustration? So giving lots of kind of pointers and ideas of, and a bit of inspiration of how to illustrate words or poems or text. And how to come up with different illustrations. So which of those 2 would you guys prefer? Do pop it in the comments whether you prefer more of the kind of therapeutic art next week, or whether you prefer more illustration. I'm trying to not do things that you have to go out and buy loads and loads of stuff. So both of those things you'll be able to do with paper, notepad, pens, pencils, felt tips. You know, you'll be able to do both of those things with those. So let me know which of those you'd like to do. Okay, hopefully you've all got 10 centimetre by 10 centimetre squares, 2 of them, and you've got them scored and bent 2.5 centimetres in each side. Hopefully you've all got those. What have we got? Oh, lots for illustration, 2 for creative therapy. I'll have a count up, so maybe you can comment so you can vote. That would be really good. Oh, it's quite even now. Oh, more for illustration, maybe. Maybe there's more for illustration. So yeah, do comment as to which one you want, and we'll do that next week. So hopefully you've all got these folded and bent. What we're now going to do is cut each one of these in half. Now, the perfectionist in you might want to measure out 5 centimetres in and cut it in half exactly. I'm going to be not going to be a perfectionist, which I don't think I am really, and I'm just going to cut away. So if you want to measure, do, but I am just going to cut away. So you should, now the trick to this is keeping these together so you know which half goes with which half. Illustration, we like the therapeutic. Edith says fairy houses. I did explain it's not an option. Oh, Edith, we'll do fairy houses at some point, I promise. We'll do fairy houses. So you should have them cut in half like that. Okay, so straight down the middle. Keep these together so you know which half goes with which half. I'm going to do this one now as well. So there we go. I'll keep these together so I know which half goes with which half. Now I'm going to use double-sided sticky tape. That's purely for the interest of being quick. But those of you who have glue, please use glue. Like a glue stick or something like that will work. But don't try and fold it and bend it until that glue has completely dried. Bless you, Barry. Are you sneezing away? I think Barry suffers from hay fever. So I'm going to use double-sided sticky tape for this one. I'm going to lower the camera down again so that you guys can see what we're doing. There's lots of votes for therapeutic art. I'm wondering if that's what people need at the moment. Right, there we go. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So in these corners, this is where I'm going to put the double-sided sticky tape. So I'm going to move that to one side for a second. Or the glue if you've got glue. So I'm going to put 2 strips on mine so that it completely covers that square, and I'm going to do that in all 4 corners, all the glue. Peter, can we just do how to draw stitch? Yes, I should just prop Stitch up in the corner. We can, yeah, we can draw him each time. Actually, that could be a good illustration. And good illustration workshop. How to draw Stitch. How to draw Disney characters. That would be quite cool. I'm not sure if I'd get away with that. Copyright might be an issue. Okay, so make sure you're sticking your glue or your double-sided sticky tape in each one of those corners, just on one square. You don't need to put it on the other square, just on the one. Okay, so hopefully you guys have all got that. I thought Charlotte might pop up to say yes to stitch drawing classes. Okay, so now I'm just going to peel this off. So again, you need to get those nails in to peel that off, that double-sided tape. There we go. That's got an extra bit on it. How annoying. Lost the sticky bit on that one. Okay, so let's get that one off now. On each corner, and I'm going to put this back in exactly the right position before I forget which way it joins, so that went round that way. And then I'll peel off the other one as well. And then when we come to put the other one on, we're going to put this basically on top of this one, but we're going to put it round that way. So the cut in the middle is going the opposite way. Hopefully everyone's with me. Hopefully everyone's caught up. Okay, so that went round that way, didn't it? Yeah. Okay, so keeping those together, I'm going to take this one here. So it's on every square in the corner, Victoria. So it's on 1, 2, 3, 4. So the ones in the corners. Yeah, so all 4 squares. Don't worry about putting any glue or any tape on this bit. It's just these 4 corners. Okay, and then keeping that together in the right place, I'm going to put this one on top, but with the cut going this way. So the cut for that one is that way. The cut for this one is this way. Okay, and then give those 2 corners at the top a little bit of a squish. And then this one, again, I'm going to put on this way. Okay, so the cut in the middle is a different way, yeah? So the cut of the one underneath is going vertical. The cut on the one on top is going horizontal. And give it a really good squish down. And then if you've glued it, let the glue dry before you do the next step. Okay. So Peter, if you've got lost, don't worry, go back and watch the video once we're done, and you can catch up. So you've got one cut going that way. And what you're going to do is fold it round like that. And then your next step, you're going to lift up the top and the bottom bit like that. It will take a few goes to get it really nice and folded down. And then you're going to flip it that way for that one. And then you're back to the original side. Okay, so you've put one down this way, one way, with the cut going one way, either vertical or horizontal. And then you've put the other one on top with the cut going the other way, and sticking those corners together. So those corners will always stay stuck together. It's these bits that move round. Have we all got there? Hopefully we have. Do go back and watch the video again. If you've kind of got stuck and you want to pause it, you can watch it in your own time. It's nowhere near as hard as the other challenge that we did yesterday, so hopefully you guys have all got this one. But you can decorate them then in any way you want and with anything you want. So you can decorate it with felt tips, you can decorate it with paint, with colouring pencils, absolutely anything you want. So this one was done with acrylic paint pens. So acrylic paint pens and then felt tips were used as well. So that's what this one was done with. And then this one, again, here's one I made earlier. This one was done with felt tips, but I also managed to cover the back side of the cereal packet with paper and then drew felt tips on top. Okay, now this one has a gap in the middle, you might notice, because the measuring that we did in from each side was only 2 centimetres rather than 2.5 centimetres, which means that you get this kind of gap in the middle here. So you see more of the one underneath. Okay, but this one, so that you get it all matching, and when you get to this one, you don't get any gap in the middle, was the 2.5 centimetres, which is the one that you guys have done today. Okay. Charlotte, it took hours to get 1 star. It's a really hard challenge, but it's nice to have a hard challenge every now and again. It's good to have a hard challenge every now and again. But well done for persevering. Keep going, it's good. The more you do, the more it becomes kind of an easier practice. Okay, so hopefully you guys have got that. Hopefully you guys have got one on top of the other, with one slit going vertical, the other slit going horizontal, and these 4 corners stuck together. Hopefully you guys have got it. So so when it folds, it will fold out along those scores. So it'll fold out, and then you fold it that way, and then you go that way, and then you go that way, and back to the beginning. Okay, so have a look at the video. Reach the point where you have or haven't got to. Hopefully everyone's got there. Give it a go, give it a go. And you can create like a little story on this. Yeah, you could do whatever you like on each thing. You've got four to play with. On some of them, that's probably the best one to show. On some of them, this one for example, you will still see some of the previous picture. So we had summer, is that summer? So we had the summer one there, but as we fold it over, you'll still see the sides of the summer one in this one. But the rest should be complete pictures. So just be aware of that when you start decorating and adding new things in. Nan is fascinated. Yeah, they are. They're amazing. It's when you just keep going with them. They're a bit mesmerising. They're a bit mesmerising. Okay. Jane, if you've got it wrong, go back and watch the video. Okay? Go back and watch it. Recreate. But they're you know, fairly kind of easy to do when you've got 2 squares of 10 centimetres. You come in 2.5 centimetres and then score from each side and then cut them down the middle, and then you stick them together at the 4 corners. All right, so enjoy. Really cool from Chris. Thank you. And show me once you've decorated them all, once you've done your story or your image or your pictures on them. Take photographs, pop them on the comments below. And for those of you who haven't voted yet with a comment on what we're going to do next week, please vote. Please put a comment, whether it's illustration or whether you wanted to do more therapeutic arts, more creative therapy. Joe, you've done one. Yay! Well done. It's good to have a challenge. I like it. Well done, guys. Can't wait to see what you've created, what colours and things you're going to use. Take photos, let me know, and have a good rest of your Wednesday. Enjoy. Tomorrow you will be needing glue stick, scissors, A4 or A3 paper, up to you what you need. It can be plain, but magazines work really well for what we're going to be doing tomorrow. You'll also need a pencil and a ruler. I'll pop a comment on underneath, so it'll tell you everything that you'll need for tomorrow. And we're actually going to be making paper beads tomorrow. So things like magazines and bright colours and things like that will really work well. If you've only got plain paper, don't worry, we can use that too, and you can just paint them or decorate them afterwards. So I will see you all tomorrow. Have fun, enjoy, have a good day. Find the finish button. See you later.